How y'all doing? See, it says warning. This video is about protesters, warning protesters in your neighborhood. It says warning tear gas in your neighborhood. Tear gas may be used without warning. See, there it is right there. Within 1 mile of Portland Police Bureau. Chemical agents. PPB will give you no warning. And I'll tell you why Portland Police will give you no warning. Because they're over here, the protesters are over here, right? And they announce to the protesters 2-3 times that they'll use chemical weapons and impact munitions and stuff like that. They give the protesters several warnings. They don't just all of a sudden bam, 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 bam. And so what they're basically sitting there saying is that they're going to protest us on the police department on the neighborhood side, on the neighborhood side. And what they're also sitting there saying is they don't care who they hurt. See, when they get flashbanged and attacked by police, then they're going to run through the neighborhoods right over here, right? And it's usually around 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, at night and in the morning, when most people are asleep and people have their windows open and cracked and stuff like that so them and their little kids can sleep. Now remember, silence is violence. So all these people and all these children that aren't out here protesting the police are committing violent acts. It doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 50 or you could be 2. If you're not out here protesting the police, your acts are violence. So what they're going to do is they're going to run through this neighborhood, throw stuff at police, break people's property, attack people. The cops are going to use flashbangs to back them up. They're going to use CS gas. This CS gas will go into residential homes, like the people that have little children. Little children's food will be contaminated. Their clothes will be contaminated. And the protesters are going to sit and say, "See what the police did? We were peaceful protesters. We only tried to burn down the precinct. We only threw stuff at the police, but we were peaceful." Well, I tell you what, okay, that's a retard statement, and I'll tell you why it's a retard statement. Because if I were to go over to one of their houses, spray paint it, attack anyone that's coming out of the house, and then start the house on fire, I'm sure they would sit there and say, that's not a peaceful protest. Well, no doubt. It's only peaceful when they do the action, but when there's a reaction, it's no longer peaceful because the reaction to their actions are not peaceful. Okay, so they're supposed to be allowed to go burn things up, attack people, do whatever they want, just total anarchy, total chaos. That's all right. I see these signs, defund the police. Yeah, right. Okay, you defund the police, you get rid of the police. Who's going to go after the serial rapists, people like Jeffrey Epstein, and stuff like that? It just doesn't work too well. It doesn't work well at all. And you know something? These protesters have half a brain, because if they really sat there and thought of what this society would look like without a police force, they would be shocked. I mean, they sit in their house and they're on their computer and they're just enjoying themselves, talking long shit on the computer and then coming out to do protests, right? What they don't realize is business owners that pay big money for protection, to the government to have the police protect them, would not be paying big money. So their power probably wouldn't exist. Their internet probably would not exist. The neighborhood store would go by because why would a business owner have a store if all they're going to do is get their workers beat up, raped, and their stuff stolen? It just doesn't make any sense, does it? Um, so we would be like a third world country, like the Congo, or Kenya, or Nigeria, or places like that. That's what that's what would wind up happening. Places like where 30% of the women are raped, 30% of the 31% of the children are raped. And you know something? They don't go after the ugly ones. They go after the nice looking ones. Why should I rape a 300-pound ugly ass broad when there's a fine looking uh, model lady that looks like she could be a model walking down the street? It just doesn't make any sense. You know, they work real hard to get their bodies so they can go out to these protests and get men and stuff like that and have all kinds of fun, and they don't realize what no police would actually do to them. It's just like totally disgusting. People might think that what I'm saying is disgusting, but it's the truth. It's the truth about the protests. It's the truth about what would happen if we defund the police. So, cities that have taken, where the police have taken hits, has had a lot of shootings lately, a lot of murders. I mean, how would people feel if their brother went to get food someplace and was walking up the street and someone walked up, shot him in his head and took his food, and the family was hungry because he never got home, and there's no one to go out and look for the guy that shot him and robbed him because there's no police. A lady that's raped on the side of the street, you know, who's she gonna call? The police? There is no police. You'd have serial rapists like Jeffrey Epstein that harms children. There'd be no one to go after those kind of people. I mean, and child abduction, that would go through the roof. Because even though the U.S. has no money because no police, no money. Other countries do, and they try to get value from other countries for the children and women here. I mean, that happens in Africa all the time, in other third world countries. Think about it. Think about how fun this place would be with no police. I've seen that. I can't find that posted anywhere else, but I was going to bring that up. Just think of how nice it would be with no police. Yeah, crime through the roof. So, this is Bob signing off.